And there's Aaron. Oh,
Hello.
Hello. Before we get started, just a couple of notes. And I know many of you have heard this a couple of times, but just as reminders, if you are in a place where you have a face, we would like to see it. Turn your cameras on so we can see your shining face. If you don't have a face, also turn your camera on because that sounds fascinating. We want to see that, you freak. Likewise, if you have a place with a laugh, we want to hear your laughter. Laughter sounds great, and it is the currency that comedians need for survival. So please turn your microphone on so that we can survive. But at the same time, if you have some weird buzz or background noise, we will mute you. We have the power to do that. It's painful sometimes, but if there's a weird distracting buzz or a dog barking or someone being murdered and so on, we can mute you. But we would love for you to turn your microphones on so we can hear laughter. Who wants to give an example of what laughter sounds like? That is all correct. Yes. Everyone, that is the sound of laughter. We love it. We want to say hello to our friends on Twitch. Hello, Comedy Hub Twitch. Good to see you. We can't hear you, but we assume that you have also just practiced laughter. Also, if you are shy, I know Edward just did it, but depending on what Zoom you have, we also love these. Look at the little floaties. I don't understand. It's so great. But that also allows us to understand that you are still engaged, even if you are shy. We still like to know you're there. And you can also put weird emoji in, and yes, emoji is plural. You can put like the hamburger emoji or cheeseburger. You can see the cheese clearly in it. And you can just put those throughout the show if you want. Just cheeseburger emoji, yes. I'm going to put some links in the chat window. It is to donate some money. We run a free comedy show. We like to keep it affordable, but we also ask for donations. We do pay our comics, and we do pay for things like MailChimp and Zoom to keep the show rolling. Also, we need to pay for Aaron's farm.
Farm?
Aaron has a farm. Aaron has a dill farm where he grazes on dill, and he needs money for that. Speaking of Aaron, are you guys ready to meet your host for the evening? I've given away his name, but you guys, you love him, you know him. Give it up for Aaron Kominos-Smith, our host for tonight.
Hello, everybody. Or should I say everybody not currently watching the Mets game? Even though that might be me. It might be on the TV over there with my jokes on a second screen over here. I'm a full, I was going to say multimodal. I don't know the word for it. There's a lot of stuff going on around my face right now. My wife is giving my daughter a bath in the other room where she's currently screaming. There's Shabbat candles over there. There's a lot of things happening right around me. All right. I don't have a dill farm. I just have this like aeroponic thing that grows. We've got arugula and some other good stuff growing in there. I tried growing dill, and then the dill got spiders in it. True story. Tiny green dill-shaped spiders. It was really weird. They had long. You want to know how long the legs were of these spiders? They were the length of dill leaves. It was really weird. And they would hide in the dill, pretending to be dill. We never had these dill spiders before, and never had them after. So I am convinced that evolution was occurring in our apartment, and these are the ones that survived because all the other little flying bugs that were a different color, we spotted them. Welcome to the Living Room Show, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job, Carbo Household. Good job, Mike. Good job, Nana's iPhone. We don't actually know if that is Nana watching on Nana's iPhone. It could be someone who absconded with Nana's iPhone. We don't actually know. Is that Nana? Who's watching?
It is.
Welcome, Nana. I like to ask at the very beginning of the show, if this is your first time watching us here on the Living Room Show, give yourselves a round of applause right now. Clap it up if it's your first time watching us. Oh, right. Oh, Nance, your first time watching.
Yes.
Laura Carbo, is it your first time watching? I'm just kidding. You've been here every week for years. Nana, where are you watching us from?
Brooklyn.
Say Brooklyn?
Oh, yes.
Are you a
Nice.
block away from? Where are you right now? How close to Brooklyn Heights are you?
Narcy.
Canarsie. That's pretty far out. Never mind. All right. That I was gonna say. Could I
Guys could
just
go
come do
meet
this
up.
show? You could just come over right now and watch me because let's add another
It's
thing.
so weird, Aaron. You made it weird.
No, I'm keeping it normal. I always invite everybody to come by and watch.
You're in Brooklyn. I'm in
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Come over.
Yeah. Are you in Brooklyn? Are you in New York City? Are you in the tri-state area? Are you within 1,000 miles of me? Just come on over right now. You'll get here by the time we're ready to start next week's show. You will be here. I say, let's go for it. All right. So Nana's here for the first time. And then who else? I'm looking around. I think I recognize pretty much everyone else. We've also got just iPhone. iPhone is here possibly for the millionth time, or this could be new iPhone. I'm not sure. It doesn't specify if it's iPhone 12, iPhone 7, iPhone 45 from the future. We don't know. But it's iPhone. iPhone is here. Well, this is exciting. Good stuff, everyone. If anyone needs me, I'll be tending to my dill right after this. That's the deal with me, everyone. That's what's going on. Has everyone gone to Home Depot and purchased your 87-foot high plastic skeletons to put in your front yard? Has everyone else in suburbia, not in New York City, gotten your giant, stupid skeletons? I don't know. I went to visit my parents in New Jersey last weekend, and everyone has these huge skeletons that they either got from Home Depot or from Timu or Temu, or whoever it's pronounced. That's why those were broken and on the ground and not standing up anymore. And it's just funny because it's like the first one you see, you're like, whoa, these people went all out. And then you see like the same giant plastic skeleton like at every other house that you drive by, and you're like, oh no, you're just really just on trend with what's going on right now, and you're just copying off of everyone else. You're just trying to be the popular kids on the block. I got it. We're back in high school. That's all suburbia turns into in my eyes, is just another version of high school, of keeping up with all your neighbors. So I say it's time to start putting the giant Thanksgiving turkeys out in your yard, right? It's right around the corner. Have the turkey eating the skeleton. I say go for it, because that would be very scary. In my building, they put up some Halloween decorations. By that, I mean they just put fake spider webs everywhere. I'm not sure. When did spider webs become scary? When did that become like just lots and lots of cobwebs? You're like, I know what's really spooky, needing to bring in a cleaning service. It's like, all right, you just need to dust the corners. That doesn't mean that there's an axe murderer hiding out here. That's not spooky at all. That's just filled with allergens. But that's pretty scary to someone who's Jewish like me. Not more allergens. Oh no, like that. Carrie, there's Shabbat candles right over there.
I know.
Oh man,
it still feels weird.
Carbo household, we're still getting that weird feedback from you guys are such good laughers, and we're still getting, it's like every 15 to 20 seconds it sounds like the record, like the needle, like it just finished and it hit the middle of the record. Like that's what it sounds like coming. Did you fix it? Did you use like actual speaker wire to fix it? I feel like that's why you did like the old school.
It was a background noise thing, and you turned it off.
I don't know what's going on, Ron. I'll come down to Boca and we'll figure this out so that we won't, if it happens. Look, if anyone lives within 1,000 miles of Boca, let's put the show on pause right now. We're all going to run down to Boca into the Ron and Laura household with their 3 dogs. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it down there with their dogs, Jax, Honey, and Mia. That's right. I remember their names.
There you go.
And we are going to do this show down there. It's going to be fun. I'm looking around. Evil Dave is just busy being the opposite of evil. I like everyone we've got here. We have multiple Brandons who watch the show, by the way. I feel like it's a very uncommon name. Not uncommon, but it's not the most, it's not the least, but it definitely is not in the middle. It leans more towards less common names, but we have multiple Brandons usually, and there's just one Brandon at our show this week. So we're a very, very low Brandon saturation point right now.
Brandon, come back.
Yeah, I don't know where all our Brandons went. Let's not go, Brandon. Come on back. All right, just stay with us. There we go. That's about as political as I will get. So big news, everyone. I was with my daughter. She's almost 3 years old. We were in the elevator, and I picked her up and I was like swinging her around, and she was laughing and giggling. And this older woman in the elevator with me goes, "Enjoy it now."
Oh.
She won't let you do that when she's 16. Enjoy it now. I was like, oh, what a downer. Like, what a real Debbie Downer. And the funny part is this lady's name, I think, is Debbie. She also, yeah, I'm glad she won't let me do that when she's 16. How weird would that be if I'm just picking up some teenage girl and swinging her around? Like, more. You need to do this more, especially in a small confined space, taking me back to your apartment. That is preferred. Yeah, it was awkward that she said that, and it really just rained on my parade. Speaking of which, we've gotten very little rain up here in the Northeast. We need more. All right, everyone, what's the next? I had another amazing joke written over here. This is not the Mets game screen. That's over here. This joke. This is a great joke. I walked by a synagogue near me. They had a sign out front, and it said that you could come by on the weekend. They were doing Jewish yoga. I don't know what Jewish yoga is. What is that? Instead of cobbler's pose, it's cobblers, I suppose. Such a great. That's one of the best jokes I've ever written. I can tell because I see other comics right now going. Aggressively exhaling while shaking their heads. Everybody, we've got an amazing show for all of you. Are we excited for more comedy? Yeah? We're feeling good. If you are somewhere with not too much background noise, if you don't currently have barking dogs around you, go ahead and unmute yourselves. We want to hear your awesome, amazing laughter. If you do have barking dogs all around you, then go ahead and mute yourselves. It's funny, right as I said that was either Jack, Sonny, or Mia that barked. Then do go ahead and keep yourselves muted, but at least turn your cameras on. Let us see your awesome, smiling faces. And we're going to get things rocking and rolling right now with this comic right now. He has done the show before, but we are happy to have him back. I am so excited. He is absolutely hilarious. Let's hear right now for the amazing and talented Mr. Paul Bennett, everybody. Clap it up for Paul. Let him hear it.
Hey, Aaron, I like your political joke. Your one political joke. I have one political joke. My one political joke is that I'm trying to get more into protesting, and I've gone to some protests. And it's weird because they always, in the middle of the protest, they always give you a quiz. Like they'll be like, "Who's here? Who wants to help the environment?" I'm like, "I do. That's what I'm here for." Then they're like, "Who wants to stop capitalism?" I'm like, "I don't know. Me? I don't know. Maybe. It depends how you define things." Then they're like, "Who wants to stop money?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've always been suspicious of money. I've been really suspicious of money. I don't know." They're like, "Who's going to vote yes on Proposition 4?" I'm like, what's everybody else doing? I don't know. That's my political joke. That's my one political joke. It's good to be here. I recently got invited to a destination wedding. How about that, Aaron? Isn't that exciting?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was in Hartford. It's not really a destination. It's just a destination, right? It's like when McDonald's start throwing it around the world artisanal. You're like, no, Hartford, you don't get to say you're destination. Yeah. But I'm not married, but I have a partner. We've got 2 kids, and I could tell I'm in a secure relationship because of the size of my sun hat. I feel like I've noticed this. Because like I feel like if you see a guy with a baseball hat and a sunny day, you're like, oh, that guy's on the prowl. Me, if they see someone like me, they're like, oh, look at that guy, he's got a radar dish on his head. You can get like Sirius XM or something. You know, I feel like people are like, hey, you know, people get their fashion from like TikTok. I get mine from Consumer Reports. My jam. Aaron, you seem like you know what you're talking. Are you a sun hat guy? Maybe.
I just am not a sunscreen.
Sunscreen. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that. Well, my girlfriend. The other thing about my girlfriend that makes me awesome, you know what it is she's got a prosthetic limb. So yes, I am a great person. Thank you very much.
Oh.
No need to applause. Everybody wants to know though, like what's it like being intimate, you know? And I'll tell you, it's all good, it's all fine. But what's amazing is the parking. It's fantastic. I'm like, oh, we're gonna be late for the movie. She's like, no, we're not. But the worst part about like handicap parking is if like say we're in the movie and like she forgets something, right? I have to go back, right? Because I'm the gentleman, right? But I have to go back to the handicap spot, so I have to pretend to be handicapped, right? So by the time I get there, people are like, why is that blind man driving? What's going on? That's not right. That's not right. But I have 3 kids. I have a 17-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-year-old. It's another way to say I've been divorced. Thank you very much. Thank you. People are always like, you have 3 kids? I'm like, no, I've been a parent twice. How about that? But I don't know. But I'm trying to I'm getting older, and it's hard to get older, you know, like things are just hard to, like, I'm trying to stay in shape, you know, and I'm trying to like watch these videos, YouTube videos, and it's the worst because it's all like 25-year-olds telling you how to like stay in shape. I'm like, you're buff because you're 25. Like, don't give me any advice, you know, like, and they have these things that are like, you know, 5 exercises to do to lose body, you know, belly fat. I'm like, how about the exercise of not eating? That is the hardest thing, you know, or like not having kids. That really helps.
There you go.
You know, I know. But I feel like, Aaron, you just had your kid, right? How old's your kid?
Almost 3.
Great. Okay. So you remember pre-kid. I feel like I like having kids is really hard, but I've started to notice like people my age with no kids are like super annoying. Like, so I don't know whether you should have kids or not. Like, I really don't. Like people my age with no kids, like all they could do is think about themselves. It's like, you ever try to have a conversation with kids like that? You know, it's like, hey, how you doing? You could say something serious. You'd be like, hey, my sister's going to jail. They'll be like, my sister's going whitewater rafting. You know, like tied together somehow. So you're like, I guess they're both going up the river. I don't know. And then they're like, I like horses. I'm like, I didn't even ask you that. You know. But I don't know. I like having kids. I feel like having kids is like being around a drunk person all the time. You know, like they can't, like, they're stumbling around. But I feel like if I was like dictator, you know what I do, Aaron? If I was a dictator, and I had to like execute people, I would have them. They would get executed, but the countdown would be from a 3-year-old. You know, so they'd be like 10, 9, 8, fish. Potatoes, 15, fire.
Wow.
How about that, Aaron? Is that
Diabolical.
diabolical? Yeah, right. That's a pretty good idea, I think. Okay, right. I know. I know. I moved to the country and like in like a rural world, and it's weird because like in New York City, like I was just like an old dad, you know. But it's kind of cool to be here because I'm like a very young grandpa. It's great, you know. People are like, "Hey, your grandkids they're here." I'm like, "Yeah, my grandkids. Yeah, their dad's terrible, but I'm great." How about that? But you know, it's different being like an old dad. I feel like when I had my first kid, you know, we could play games like how long you could hold your breath. Now with my kids, I'm like, how long can you close your eyes? You know, instead of like the angry dinosaur, I'm like the hibernating bear. I'll do that one.
Oh,
How about that? Are you at that point, Aaron? Are you very active? You're not there yet.
I don't even know how to answer.
Okay,
You'll get there.
you'll get there one day.
Be careful.
But I live with my mom. She moved in with us, and like whoever said kids of all ages, and it includes old people, definitely also live with their parents, because I have an additional child. That's my mom. Like for one thing, I know all the diapers. I am great on every kind of diaper you could ask me. I know them all. But I think like the one difference between like parents as kids and kids are cults. You know why, Aaron?
I don't.
Yeah, because if my kid ever was like, "Hey, I'm going to join a cult," I'd be like, "No, you can't do that. You're going to get mind controlled. It's going to be terrible." If my mom ever came to me and was like, "I'm going to join a cult," I'd be like, "That's great. You have like no money. What's the worst case? They're going to like keep you company. It's like, okay, Right. Okay. I was excited about that joke, but maybe it's
No.
I don't know. You ever look back in your life, Aaron, and realize things aren't as cool as you thought they were? Okay. Well, I'm in that point now, and like I realized like when I was a teenager, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, which is pretty lame, right? And I realized that, but what makes it even lamer is that it was solo Dungeons and Dragons. Which meant even like the losers were like, yeah, we really don't want to play with you. That's about it. But I guess the last thing is I was talking. I don't know if this happens to you. You have these weird conversations when you have kids. There, like I was talking to my aunt, and I was like telling her, she asked how long we're nursing our kids for, right? And so we told her, and I said, how long you nurse your kids for? She was like, oh, I nursed them till they were 10.
What?
Months old. I'm like, you can't pause there. It's a very important pause. Like, hey, we just get back from shopping and Joe is dead. Tired from that great savings. That's it for me. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, Bennett, everybody. Keep it going for Paul. And me being his single sounding board in the audience. I don't have a sun hat, but I do have sunscreen, Paul. But I will say I'm at the level of comfort in my relationship where I don't fully rub it in. I don't really care. There's definitely... Oh, there's some white on my beard that I didn't rub. Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. The sun's not going to reach there anyway. I've got facial hair in the way to block it. By the way, I like your... I love that standard comic setup you hear all the time of, what I would do if I was a dictator? Yeah, that's a pretty common theme in comedy, I believe, is putting yourself in a dictator's shoes. Now, listen, I'm no Pol Pot, but if I was, let me tell you what I would have done in Cambodia. All right, everybody. Speaking of Cambodia, I'm going to keep this comedy show rocking and rolling, everyone. I've been to Cambodia. They're actually very nice. It's a lovely place. Everyone should go visit. It's fantastic. It's very easy to get to from Hong Kong. All right, everyone. We're going to keep the show rocking and rolling right now. This next comic is absolutely hilarious. Maybe she'll talk about kids as well. I don't know. So far, we've got a theme, but we'll see. Very excited for this next comic. Happy to have her back on the show. Let's hear right now for Amy Lizka Bavera, everybody.
Yeah, my screen says Amy Bavera, but it's actually Amy Liska for my what's it called? my actual comedy name, because I teach kids at school and I don't want them on Zoom and I don't want them to know that I do comedy. So, but this is a crazy thing. I can't figure out how to change my name on the Zoom screen. I feel like too many people have messed with their name, like kids. So now Zoom has made it so impossible to change it, or I'm just so old that I just can't do it anymore.
We turned it off back in the Zoom bomber days. People would change it. So did I spell it right?
No, you spelled it perfectly, but that's my married name. It doesn't matter. Anyways, listen, I teach a lot of kids. And I feel like kids are very overrated. First of all, people are always like, oh, the children's feelings, save the children. I'm telling you, they will get you before you will ever get them. Okay. They're solid. I taught in an in-person school, and anytime I put on makeup, I had a gaggle of girls surround me, of maybe 7 and under, saying, "You're trying too hard." Thing on my face. I was like, "What?" Then on top of that, this other kid was like, "Oh, Miss Amy, can I draw a picture of you?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, of course." He draws 2 stick lines like this, and then draws a huge oval right where my stomach's supposed to be. I was like, I'm done. I was like, okay, well, thanks for emphasizing my tummy, my muffin top. I was like, that's great. The third one really hurt me because I spent time with this kid all day. And at the end of the day, because of COVID, we actually have to walk the kid out of the school, and then deliver them to the parent. So I played games with him for like 2 hours straight, had a lot of fun. And then at the very end, he said, "I don't want you walking me to my parents." And I was like, "Why not?" And he goes, "Because I don't trust you."
Whoa.
Worst first kid date ever. I was like, I guess I should have let him win a couple times in the game. But yeah, I do have 2 kids, and I live in New York City. I know it's weird. I know that you're getting a lot of comics with kids, but you guys, I'm loving the Zoom show because I can't go out anymore. I love it. Aaron, thank you, Carrie, for doing this because I was like, yes, I'm here. I'm available. My kids are running around. I don't even know where they're at right now, but I'm available.
Right there.
But in New York, it's so weird. Like everyone has 2 kids. It's fine. But in New York, you have 1 kid. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing it." You get 2. People are like, "Where are you getting all your money from?" They look at me like I'm the Octomom. They're like, "You're with the cartel, aren't you? I don't trust you anymore." They're like, "You need to leave. You need to leave right now." But yeah, so I had my second kid this year. He's 4 months. So yeah, yeah, he's a cute bundle of joy. But I realized what you don't want if you're having a major surgery, because I had a C-section. One, you don't want advice from a different generation, because I had kids later in life. I had my first at 40, second at 42, and then my mom also waited to have kids. So the one advice she gave me, she's like, "Try not to have a C-section. You don't want a C-section." And I was like, "You had C-sections?" And I was like, she's like, "Yeah. But it takes forever to recover." And I was like, "Well, how long?" And she was like, "About a year." I was like, "A year?"
Wow.
Year? Wow. And she was like, she lifts up her shirt and shows me her scar. And I was like, "Were you a nom?" And I had no idea. What did they do to you? I was like, no, it's crazy. But I ended up having a C-section. And what I realized, if anyone's having a major surgery, you do not want a talkative doctor at all. I want the weird doctor that does his job, stares at you awkwardly and leaves, you know? You're like, "Did I hurt its feelings?" No, you don't want to talk to a doctor. My doctor came in to prep me and was like, yawns while she's talking. And she goes, "Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I've been up for 48 hours straight." We went from 7 doctors within 2 months to 3. So I've been doing overtime. I was like, "Oh, didn't even ask you why you had a yawn." "Could you please take a 20-minute nap?" And I actually begged her. I'm going into surgery. She's just like cleaning me. I was like, "Please, just take a 20-minute nap. You don't need to open me up right now. I'm fine." She literally says this to me. She goes, "Nope, I'm just going to power through." I'm like, "Me? Power through me?" Oh my God.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, this is true. And then my husband actually offered her an energy drink. And she took it. She took the energy drink. I'm like, "You failed the test. You failed the test."
He's a good
I don't know. It was like, you guys, I'm not a test. It's like if you get an F on me, I flatline. That's what the F stands for. Oh my God. So the worst part, however, I got through the surgery, and actually, doc, it's kind of crazy how things have changed so much. I was out of the hospital within 2 days, basically, having a C-section. And I was so proud of myself. And on the first day or the first night or whatever, I actually pulled myself up and got enough strength to walk myself. There was this little pantry that you could go to get extra muffins and snacks. I like to give thank you to drugs for me being able to do this, but but anyways, I walked into the pantry, and I was so proud of myself. And inside the pantry was another person, a dad who his wife had just given birth because he had a visitor tag on. And I was like, oh, congratulations. And he's like, you too, mom or grandma?
Oh, no.
Right away, I was like, find me the girl that slept with you, because now your DNA is out there. And I want to murder her. Okay. Who is claiming this person? Who loves you right now? Because this is wrong. This is so wrong. And I was so mad, and I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? That is so rude. Even if I am 105, if I'm celebrating my birthday, you better be saying I'm celebrating my 21st birthday. Okay.
Yes.
And the one thing that I don't understand too is I was in that pantry with him. I wasn't wearing a visitor tag. You know what I was wearing? I was wearing a gown that they gave you after surgery. What, did you think this was my Momo? I don't get it. Also, wait, hold on. I forgot. So also, I realized now, you guys, I've been with my husband now for 10 years altogether. And then about, we've been married for about 3, but I've been with him forever. And people were like, were you surprised when he proposed to you? And I was like, surprise, ultimatum, tomato, tomato, whatever. I realize now, I know we were going back and forth about my last name and stuff like that. I realize now why men usually don't change their last name and women always change their last name, because men will never do that much paperwork. I swear, if I pass away today, my biggest worry that I'm going to have is that my husband will not sign up my child for daycare on time. He's like, my kid will be 18 and was like, can I have to do something? I don't know. But I'm going to leave you guys with this. Because I really do love my husband. But has anyone, a significant other, ever said something so nice to you and you thought it was so nice that you thought that they were cheating on you? My husband looked at me and was like, if something ever happened to you, I don't think I could ever find anyone else. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is she? I want names right now. All right, you guys, thank you so much. You're wonderful. Thank you.
Keep it going, Amy, everybody. Oh man, hospitals are weird during pregnancies and all that. We ordered food at our hospital. It's New York City, and you can order food and order delivery, and it was weird because sometimes security wouldn't let them up and I had to go down and get the food. Other times security did let them come up, and then I got confused one time. I think I thought the food was coming up and I was waiting, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go down and get it. And I saw a guy coming out of the elevator with a bag of food, and I was like, hey, is that for 503 or whatever? And then the guy was like, no, my wife just had a kid. And it was a guy who was there just see, like, he went down to get food for his wife, but I was so delirious that I just assumed he was a delivery guy. I'm pretty sure he had a visitor badge on too, or whatever it was and I just didn't even see it. But I had slept like 2 hours in like 4 nights at that point. So I went through a lot during that. Okay. I was really so much. Oh man.
Are you the one that said mom or grandma to me?
That might have been me. I might have been the one when I accidentally grabbed your delivery. No, so oh man, everybody, I'm so excited to keep the show rocking and rolling. This next comic is absolutely hilarious. We recently did a show together in New Jersey. We had a fun car ride. Do you know what the highlight of that show was? Beforehand, we stopped at a pizza place that was amazing. The show was good too. And that pizza place, I'm pretty sure it was called Lupo's Pizzeria. If anybody's interested, it's on Route 36 southbound in New Jersey. Go check it out, everyone. This is even an ad for Lupo's. That's the best credit you're ever going to get, Teresa, by the way. She's absolutely hilarious. Let's hear right now for Lupo's Pizzeria fan, Teresa De Gaetano, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Okay, what a show, guys. This is great. So much sports going on, but we've got living room comedy show. I love it. That pizza was so good. I talked about it the next day to people. I met a guy that lived in New Jersey. I was like, whereabouts in New Jersey? I know a pizza place in New Jersey. Like, it was that good. Like,
so
that's
good.
when you know you're excited about food. Like, I don't know. You're Jewish, Aaron. I'm Italian. Like, I get excited about food. It's funny. I'm dating a new guy. Okay. This is 6 weeks in. Who's counting? I am. And thank you for the applause, Aaron. And he's like, he's 49, has a full head of hair and abs. I'm like, who sent you? Who is this? I know, Carrie. And he was like, okay, our first date, he cooked for me. And he asked me, he's like, do you get excited about food? I was like, oh, I'm already planning the next meal. When I'm like, and I'm not a foodie. Like, I'm not like that, but like, I like to eat. So whenever we've gone out, I take the to-go box home. I'm like, this is all me. Like, I'm taking this. He doesn't want to take it. I was like, well, these wings are going to be great above my sink here. And like the one night over, and we didn't eat anything, and like I was happy he didn't spend the night because I was like, Mama's got to eat. Like, I'm not get out of here. It's so interesting. So he's 49, I'm 42, and like dating in your 40s is just two people telling each other what their issues are, and then sharing an HBO Go password. You're like, fine, who gets yours? So I've never been married. I've never even been engaged. I know there's a lot of marriage talk, and people ask me, they're like, why not? Why have you never been engaged? I'm like, because no one's ever asked. That's simple, people. You know, you can't do it on your own. It's like skiing. Like, I've never been skiing before, and it's not that I really want to go skiing. You're not going to go by yourself. You know, you're not just going to get some skis one day and like go up to Burlington. No, like someone's got to kind of like ask you to go. So yeah, I don't have any kids. Okay, I am that person. Okay, I'm a proud aunt of 5, but I am that person with the New Year's resolutions. That's like, this year, I'm just doing me. Just doing me. My sister's like, that's all you do is you. That's it. Like, I gotta be honest. My Monday is like, Amy, probably your dream day. Like, every mom's Mother's Day is my like every day off. I work out in the morning. I get a pedicure. I can get a massage. I can have a cocktail. I drop my laundry off. I don't even do my own laundry. They fold it so nicely. I don't have laundry in my building. Like, I realize like that's like, it's a dream. So, you know, I will say though, okay, you can't see, like, we're on Zoom. So I'm curvy. I'm a curvy gal. That's why I get excited about the food. But I'm going to talk a little shit about moms for a second. Okay. When you're 3-4 months pregnant and you're showing those bump pictures, you got to hold off a little bit, okay? It looks like you just had a pizza and a couple of IPAs. Like, let's just wait till it's like showing a little bit. Those Instagram moms, you know, the ones that were on The Bachelor and get pregnant, they do that. You know, who's watching Golden Bachelor? Anybody? Oh my God, I'm obsessed. It is the best TV. It really is. It's like when older people are trying to find love, and then I realize they're not that much older than you, Teresa. So you're in their age bracket. Like, and they've got stories. The best episode was they went to play kickball and everyone kept injuring themselves. And I was like, just left and right. Like there was a hammy pulled. One guy slid into third base head first. And I was like, MVP all the way. I won't do certain things. Like there's certain, like, okay, I do like to work out, but like they were trying to make us do jump squats. And I was like, I'm not trying to make varsity. Okay, like I'm gonna low impact this. All right, no one's trying to do the Olympics. I gotta sit down to pee tomorrow. You know, I gotta be able to. You know, I have to be okay. Like none of this pushing yourself, no pain, no gain. I don't want to take an Advil. I might pull a shoulder. You know, and it always if you don't know how you do it either. Like I pulled a neck, right, left. Right. The other day, crossing the street, pulled a neck muscle, crossing the street. I was like, this is where we are, everybody. Oh, goodness. Okay. So my parents, all right, they got me a cemetery plot.
Oh, God.
It might be like the kindest thing they've ever done. Like my dad sat me down and was like, we got you a cemetery plot with us in Pennsylvania, where we're from. My dad's like, just one for you, T. They call me T. But my dad had a real issue with the way the cemetery was set up. He's like, it's very disorganized. The way the plots are set up, I couldn't go to this one cemetery. That's who my dad is. Like, it's very like OCD type A. And my mom's like, you're going to be dead, Jim. You're going to be dead. Why does it matter? So like, I was very touched about the cemetery plot, but I also was like, is that what this is coming down to? Like, they always want me to move home and open an Olive Garden. That is their dream. It's to open, no, it's, I don't know where everybody lives here, but like that was my family's like fancy was Olive Garden. Okay, I love an OG. Like I still do. Like salad and breadsticks, they still got it. Like Aaron, I saw your face on that. They've still got it. They do.
I'm just listening. I'm not watching.
Like growing up, it was like it's a 2-hour wait every Saturday night. So we would roll in 6 deep. There was like 4 kids, 2 parents. We'd kick Maria, she was the short one, out of the car. And you got to roll to the front desk. You know, you got to check in. Then they give you the Olive Garden vibrator, that thing that vibrates in your pocket. And then you're like, okay, no one can miss the Olive Garden, the vibrate, or you're out of the family. Like they kick you out. You miss it, you're done. Like you go to Home Depot for 2 hours, you touch everything as kids, you get screamed at. But I went to an Olive Garden in New York City because I had to use the bathroom. And I felt bad, but it was near the venue, but like I had a little rumble in the Bronx. I was like, I can't go at the venue. Comics, you know this. There's like one bathroom stall. You can't be that comic that blew up the bath. It's not okay. All right. So like I felt bad because I left. But then I remembered when you're at Olive Garden, when you're there, you're family. So pulled it together, pulled it there on that. The one thing about dating that's interesting is like people tell you to be breezy. They're like, just be breezy. I'm not breezy. Okay, nothing about me. Like I can't. I'm a hurricane. Like I'm not breezing in there. Like it's just like I'm trying to be cool, calm, collective, and I can't. Like I realize this guy is more domesticated than I am. Like he had an autumn candle burning at his apartment. No, I didn't have an autumn candle. I've got like candles that are lavender from weddings I've been to. Like I don't have Yankee candle. So I went out and bought a Yankee candle and I was like, I got to step up my game a little bit here. And then I sent him a suggestive photo with the candle. Okay, see, that's where the comment comes in. Clean show, people. Clean show, everybody. Going on the gram. No, it's not. Are you guys, does anyone watch college football? It doesn't matter. That's just the premise. I have to tell you, the young people today, if you zoom in on a college football game and their team loses, you thought someone killed their parents. These oh my God, so traumatic. I'm like, you're not even paying for your own college, okay? You can roll Tide Bank. Like, you're not even very serious. I like sports. I'm into sports. I get frustrated when, gotta check the time. We gotta wrap up soon. I get frustrated when I see grown men calling professional athletes bums. Maybe it's kids too. I got an issue with this. Where they're like, "You're a bum." I'm like, you haven't worked out in 365 years. Like, did you play what? Pee Wee football? Like maybe he's not the best, but he's not a bum. Like, let's go work out some of those issues in therapy. Okay. I have to tell you, my therapist got let go randomly. They made budget cuts. And let me tell you, no one cares about the mental health. So I thought she ghosted me. It was like she canceled 2 appointments. And I was like, did Judy just ghost me? And we were really having a rapport because she's cool. Like, I'd like to make her laugh. I set up a set list, like I'm doing a comedy show. I got all my assorted beverages around, tissues in case I need it. But when you make your therapist laugh, you're like, yes. You feel very good about that. I did have this one therapist that never gave me feedback, and that was just not okay. I need a little feedback. So I asked her, I was like, do you have any insight on the issue? I was talking about dating in New York, and she goes, dating in New York is like finding a needle in a haystack. I was like, that's all you got? Needle in a haystack. Okay. You went to Columbia. Okay. That's $200,000. I feel like you could do better than that. I could give $5 to the crackhead on the corner. He would tell me a lot more about needles and haystacks. Okay. About all my dating. I guess, guys, that's it. We're at 10 minutes. I guess we'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for having me, Aaron. Thank you for everybody.
Teresa, everybody. Lupo's Pizzeria in Long Branch, New Jersey. You know it. You love it. We all love it. I think it's kind of a great style pizza.
What a great night.
Yeah, but it's incredible. It is so good, everybody. And you're all missing out. And you think I'm being crazy right now.
I'm hungry.
Wait until you try it, and then you're like, the rest of you are crazy. Get on that Spirit flight from Boca to Newark right now, and let's do this. Let's get some pizza in you. All right, everybody. We've got one more comic for all of you, but before we do that, we've just got one more announcement. As you guys know, this is a free stand-up comedy show, but if you want to show the comics some love, you can send us tips. Here's our list of people who gave us donations.
We're on number 1.
At the Illuminati level is Laura of the Laura Carbo household. At the Dracula level, Evil Dave, by the way, most consistent donator tipper, everybody. No one at Potato or Chuckle level. It was a light week. Not gonna lie, everybody. It was a light week. We're making ends meet, just barely. But we did it. So if you want to get your name on that list to be at the Chuckle level, the Potato level, or there may be an Evil level next week, which Evil Dave won't be at. Go ahead, send us some tips. If you're wondering how much is a good amount, we suggest $5 per person watching the show. If you feel this is one of the best shows you've ever seen, $10 per person. If this is absolutely amazing, mind-blowing stand-up comedy, $4,005. The best amount. And if you think the show is just fine, $5,005. Go for that. Or send us your favorite dog under 10 pounds. That's what we'll take as donations. And then we're going to charge $1 per photo with your cute dog. That's our plan. We're real enterprising individuals here, everyone. And with that, your next comic is incredibly enterprising. She's Bill by the fistful. Let's hear right now for the amazing and talented co-producer of this show, Carrie Gravenson, everybody.
Thank you. Teresa, where are you meeting 49-year-old men with abs? I don't want to take your man, but I want to introduce him to my man.
I met him through 2 comics.
Oh, no.
Dan and Joanna. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I think 49-year-old men with abs need to be friends with everybody else's husbands and boyfriends, because that is a rare thing. I tried therapy with BetterHelp during the pandemic, and it was a disaster. And if you are on any social media, or if you listen to any podcast, there's a ton of BetterHelp ads. My BetterHelp therapist spent the 3rd session with me that I was paying for complaining about the BetterHelp platform, and then trying to get me to join her private practice. And I didn't want to. The whole reason, it was during a pandemic. I wanted to do it from home during the pandemic. So I said, where is your practice? She said, I don't have an office. I don't see a reason why we couldn't meet in a park. You don't see a reason why we can't do therapy in public. You can't find anything weird with that. That wouldn't be any kind of weirdness. Yeah, so then I quit BetterHelp, which is hard to do. They really don't want to see you go. Now I have a live therapist in person, and I just debate coffee with her because I'm paying out of pocket. Did anyone else notice that when Paul was naming his children, he said, I have a 17-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 6-year-old? Now, is this me that, why didn't he name them in sequence? This is my OCD. This is an OCD thing, right? Like, why didn't he say 17? Because he's naming them in order of how he got introduced to them, right? So he started with 17 because he got introduced to the 17-year-old first, but then he skipped the 6-year-old. Paul, to help me out, do you
I don't understand.
Neither do I. This is crazy. All right, we're gonna hang out more. I gotta figure this out.
There you go.
And I had a personal trainer too, Teresa. I joined a gym and they give you one free session, and I wanted her to teach me all about the machines, but she had me do a bunch of squats and lunges, which is a thing I can do in my apartment. So, like, if I could just do that in my apartment, I wouldn't have joined the gym to use all the fancy machines and all the crap. So teach me the crap I can't do in my apartment. I could just do lunges. I'm not an idiot, but the whole reason I'm here is that I don't want to do lunges in my own apartment. It's terrible. It's terrible. There's been some talk about dog ownership a little bit. I once had someone ask me if I'd ever had a dog, and I have never owned a dog. This is true. I've never had a dog, never been a dog parent. And she said, oh, you've never had a dog? Well, when you have a dog and the dog dies, it can be very sad. And I was like, are you explaining the concept of grief? Do dog owners think that they are gatekeeping the concept of grief? That because I've never had a dog, I can't empathize with what it would be like to lose a pet? That's insane. That's completely insane. You didn't invent grief just because you have a dog. I think, if anything, I'm overly empathetic. What's the opposite of a psychopath? Right? Like, in fact, you have no empathy, but what if you have too much empathy? Like, I feel bad for pens when I don't use them enough. Like, oh, you poor things. Like, when was the last time I used this one? I don't know. I feel really bad for it. I feel, oh, it's so sad. So, see, the opposite of a psychopath. If anything, too much empathy. It's hard to get around. This last weekend, I went to a fall festival, you guys. It was really wholesome. It was very autumnal. We went to the great state of New Jersey to see the birthplace of Aaron. And apparently this pizza place that we missed, was it in Jersey?
Yes.
So apparently we missed this pizza place. We were having autumnal fun. Our ride fell through, which meant that my boyfriend rented a car. And when you rent a car last minute, you get whatever car they have left over, right? So he's like, I'm just going to put down that we'll take any car because it's last minute. And you know what they gave us? A cherry red Mustang convertible. And if you remember, last Sunday was gorgeous. We put down the top of this thing. People were looking at us. It was fantastic. People were looking us up and down. And the top was down, so you could just talk to people. And I just explained what happened. I was like, oh, thanks for looking. We just have a lot of money. We have more money than you. You, I've noticed, don't have a Mustang convertible like us. We have one. So clearly, we have lots of money. So sucks to be you, poor. It was great. When we were planning on which fall festival to go to, because it is October, this harvest season, right? These are plentiful. My boyfriend was like, that one sounds fun. I was like, it has this. This one sounds fun. That one sounds fun. And he goes, yeah, that sounds like there's going to be a lot of kids there. And the parents will not appreciate this bit at all. So I apologize to the parents. But I was like, Yeah, you know, I think fall festivals are often kid friendly. Like, I think a lot of the fall festivals in like the suburbs of New Jersey it's gonna be a kid heavy event. I don't think there's a lot of adults only fall festivals. And then I thought, there should be. If you want wholesome, awesome fall festivalness, you want to eat pumpkin pie and drink apple cider, but you hate children, you should come to Carrie's Adults Only Fall Festival. I'm not going to change the names of anything. This is adults only, no kids allowed. You have to be 25 up because, yes, 22-year-olds are children. I'm sorry. If anyone's 22, you're still a child. I don't care. But yeah, at Carrie's Adults Only Fall Festival, I'm not changing any of the names. You can come enjoy our adults only pony rides. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Be a perv and think about it perverted wise. At our adults only fall festival, you can join and have some fun in our petting zoo.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah. Think more perverted. We got face painting. And you can get lost in our corn maze.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's right. Whatever you're picturing, it's more perverted. And that's why you don't have children. So you can do. Let's see. We were talking about dating very briefly. I'm also not married. It's not because I've never been asked. It's because I'm dead inside and people know better. But this is a story that Paul Bennett reminded me of about how you know that you are a little weird. There was a summer when I was single. I go from single and crazy promiscuous to straightforward monogamy, and there's no in between for me. It's promiscuous or monogamy, and that's it. But there was a summer I was single, and I went on a date with a guy named Paul, and he was really nice, but he wasn't for me. You know, no chemistry, whatever. Then I met a guy named, what was his name? Oh my God, I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna call him Mike. I'm gonna call him Mike, right? Go out with Mike. I meet up with him, and we meet at the bar. And he goes, I go, Mike, and he goes, oh yeah, Mike is the name I use on Tinder, but my real name is Paul. And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that's so weird. I just dated a guy named Paul, and your name is Paul. That means I dated two Pauls in a row.
The worst.
And then, this is how my brain works. I said, I wonder how many Pauls in a row I can date.
Oh.
So I just swiped right on every Paul. If your name was not Paul, I swiped left. If your name was Paul, I swiped right. I dated, and so that's how we came up with, and this happened. And I have to change the name for the bit to a different common name because it really was literally Paul. But yes, that we call that the summer of 6 Pauls.
You were a
So ladies, if you are committed to this and you have a couple months, you can date 6 Pauls in a row. What were any of them? I don't know. I was using them for their names. I wanted to see what happened. Were any of them nice? I'm sure. I don't know. I wasn't tracking that. I know. It's horrible. It's horrible. What is wrong with me? I don't know. And the reason I'm telling that bit is Jake did not leg in tonight, so I can tell that bit. Because he does not like that bit. I don't think. Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's bad. I'm not saying I'm a model citizen. If Paul was single that summer, I might have dated him. But yeah. So on that note, thanks for coming out tonight. I'm going to throw it back over to Aaron. You guys are awesome.
Keep it going for Summer of Pauls. Carrie, everybody. Wow, 6 Pauls. You really put up with a lot of Pauls. You were a real Paul bearer. Wow, that was incredible.
I'm writing that down.
Go ahead, write that down. I think it's pronounced the same way. Everybody, that has been our show. Clap it up for all the comics that you've seen. For Teresa, for Amy, and for Carrie, and for myself. And clap it up for yourselves for being an amazing audience. We really appreciate it. We are here every Friday at 8 p.m. We always got different comics. Go check us out every Friday. You can make more reservations on Eventbrite. Remember to send us tips using the email livingroomcomedy@gmail.com, on Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle, and the Cash App at $, Aaron Kominos-Smith, all one word. And don't forget to follow me at Funny Aaron, so you'll know when my special comes out in a week or a month or a year. I don't actually know. We'll figure it out. We'll get it out there. And when I go visit Boca, you want to know, you want to get the alerts. There actually is a comedy club in Boca, and you guys have been to it. But the guy never emailed me back. He said, here's some dates, and I said, let's do this one. And then I didn't get a response. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everybody, that has been our show. We'll hang out for a moment. We'll unmute, set it so everyone can be spotlighted.
Thank you, guys.
I don't know how it works. Whatever.
Have a great night.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Good night, everybody.
Well, Amy and Teresa, it was great to see you. Good to see you, Teresa.